Hi there, my name is Dr. Zwelling, and I want to talk to you about a subject that has been brewing and in the newspapers and magazines lately, and that is the public's need to know. Well, first of all, I would absolutely agree that the public has an absolute right to know. It is your need to know, and if it's not written in ink for you, you need to go find out what the answer to the question is. And when you walk into a hospital, yes, you need to know, is this a good hospital? Is it a credible hospital? How does it rank among hospitals? But here's the problem. The data that you're given about hospitals is bad data. It's government data, administrative data, having very little to do with what really goes on inside that hospital. So how do you find out? How do you pick a doctor? How do you choose a medicine? What do they say about the medicine in Newsweek or in Time or in the Wall Street Journal? Is that credible evidence that a drug is good or bad? I think that the answer to all those questions rests with your doctor. And here's why I say that. The doctor and the patient have a very trusted, very respectful relationship, and that goes both ways. If you trust and respect your physician, and I think that you should, and you should build that relationship, you will build a relationship where you can get an honest answer. I tell my patients, this hospital is good for this hospital is better for that. I tell my patients, don't go there. I am not afraid to do that. Why? Because I trust that they trust the information that I'm giving them. So I think that rather than reading about this in newspapers and in magazines, and rather than taking and accepting data that is basically, remember, if you don't ask the right question, you don't get the right answer. And oftentimes reporters who haven't a clue about what happens in a hospital don't even ask the right question. So indeed, morbidity and mortality data, absolutely important. But let me give you an example. There are hospitals that actually accept only the sickest of patients. Why? Because their place in the market is a tertiary healthcare center where only the sickest of the sick go. Well, they may have a different mortality data than the hospital down the street that doesn't take the sickest of sick patients. So you need to have all of the information kind of behind the scenes before that conclusive piece of data, that statistic that tends to ring true in the front pages and the headlines of the paper, what credibility that has and what it really means to you. So that's why I say, if you're going to trust data, you have to trust the source. And it's my opinion as a physician, as my patient's doctor, that the best place to get that data is with their doctor. And if the doctor doesn't come out, if he doesn't come forth or she doesn't come forth, go find another doctor. The doctor-patient relationship is the foundation of all the healthcare in this country. The most basic thing in healthcare to allow you to get the best care, the strategy of care that you need, the decision-making that you want, comes from that relationship. And if you think about it, everything in your life that's good comes from good relationships. So before you trust a Newsweek article or before you allow a physician on a blacklist to be blacklisted from your list, ask your doctor what it really means. I think you'll get an honest answer. And thanks.